Welcome back to What the Hell Do I Know with JB. I am so excited about this episode. I say this every time, but today, our guest has helped coin the term boat ramp champ.
Yes, yes.
This guy and his page, if you are a captain on the water, you want to think, how do I avoid not showing up on qualified captains? So let's give a warm jabroni welcome to my new friend, Aaron, with the qualified captain, baby. Yeah, baby.
Thanks for having me on, man.
What the hell do I know? I'm just JB, middle-aged dad with ADD. Candid combos, jokes so lame, jabronis pulling a poker face. Just a couple of dudes with ADD. What the hell do I know with JB?
We're back, and Aaron, I'm so glad. We have been trying to schedule this thing for so long, and you are a busy man to hunt down. You are on the water, you're behind the screen, you're doing everything. I mean, what made you start the qualified captain, and did you ever expect it to blow up like it did?
No, man. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've had a busy start to this. Busy summer, but now we're getting into fall. It's like game on again down south and in the other parts of the world. But anyways, I started qualified captain as a complete joke. I was working on the water. I was working at a marina as well. And then from there, I started this page and we're trying to think of a name. Like, do we name it the qualified captain or boater of the day? I wasn't sure yet. And this is back in 2016 before social media is where it is. And it just took off all of a sudden. Next thing you know, we had 100,000 followers, 500,000. Now we're at 1.6 million. And it was just all from content that me and my buddies were sending each other over a group text. And yeah, it was weird.
Did y'all just start hanging? Did y'all just start hanging out at these boat ramps? I mean, y'all start feeling folks there.
Like, who's the worst one we can find?
Like, where did you get the? Now I bet everybody's sending you content, right?
Yeah. So now it's all being sent to me, and it's easy. I mean, it's not easy. I still have to go through it, and I would say there's 90% of the stuff that's sent to me is actually people sending me content trying to get their name tagged in there. They really don't even know what the hell they're talking about. So, but
people are sending you stuff, but they don't really know what they're sending. They're just trying to get stuff tagged, right?
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part. So a lot of these people are sending me videos, and it's them not knowing what they're talking about. So for me, I have to go through it and really study the situation because I don't want to put somebody on blast if they're not doing anything wrong, you know.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I've had a lot of people want to work with me. They're like, hey, can we run the page for you? We can help you, blah, blah, blah. And I still to this day run everything on that Instagram page because I know the water. I've worked on the water my whole life, and I don't want to call somebody out without knowing exactly the situation because there's so many different things that can happen on the water.
Oh yeah,
but now all the content's sent in to me.
Yeah, that's big. So you've worked on the water. You said for a long time. I mean, sounds like forever. Where did you start kind of working on the water?
So I started working at a marine. Well, first of all, I went to a 2-year marine technology program here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Great program, by the way. Shout out to those guys at Cape Fear Community College. Did that. And then after that, I worked full-time at a marina. I was managing a marina here locally in town. I worked there for about 8 or 9 years. And then part-time during all that, I was a speedboat captain too. So I was making some extra money doing that. So, I mean, I've seen it all, especially, believe it or not, at the marina. We got a lot of new boat owners during COVID. And these guys are just, I mean, we would try to help, we try to give a helping hand, and they get real defensive. People get all pissed off, like, no, we know what we're doing. And they ended up, we'd go back, sit in the office and just sit there and watch, and then just watch them almost drive their boat like onto the other dock. It was a nightmare, man. The stuff I've seen on the
I mean, I watch your clips, man. They're great. I sent you something the other day. I was in Atlanta. I mean, the furthest water to us was probably an hour and a half away, lake-wise. And this guy pulled up to bar, and I sent you that message. He had a qualified captain T-shirt on. It was like boat ramp champ on it and all that, And so you've gotten, your reach has really gone far.
And your brand.
It's your brand,
You've got a
right?
brand.
When did you said it started blowing up, you started getting 500,000. Like, when is the first time you're like, should make like a t-shirt or a koozie or something?
This is going to take off.
Well, so back when I first started this, we had like 10,000 followers. 'Cause I had the logo. My sister's a graphic designer, so I was like, "Hey, Lauren, start coming up with some of these ideas," And she made like 2 or 3 designs, which this one what we settled with. And you guys know what this is?
No. I mean, I know it's your logo, but
but do you know what this symbol means?
Tell me.
It's the shipwreck symbol on a navigational chart.
Very good. Very good. That's so awesome.
I always ask people that to see if they know or not. And
great.
90% of people don't even know.
JB,
But,
you should know this.
I
dude.
should know this. I should know this.
So she started making designs, and then I started making T-shirts and hats. Just sell. This is also when Shopify just started. So I was kind of messing around with Shopify and got it rolling. And dude, I kept on selling the shit out of hats and T-shirts. I had boxes up to my ceiling in my room, and that's when I realized, like, okay, my sister's a designer. I've got the hookups to all these hat companies. My buddies are all sales reps and hats and shirts. And then I think around in 2020, when we hit 500,000, I left my job full time and did this. And now we've got a full apparel brand, and we've got about 250 dealers now selling Qualified Captain all over the country.
That's amazing, dude. That's so awesome.
Isn't that great? The American dream.
It is. It's just, and it's seeing it happen.
Sometimes you don't even dream it. It's just like, wait a second, this just took off.
But you had to build a following first before you could do it. You had to have content that people really wanted to see.
Yeah.
And you kind of, you tagged into it. This kind of fell. And I love the fact that you're not trying to put somebody on blast if they're not doing something wrong. So it's really got to, it's that fail, it's that boater that, Tangled Up Tuesdays and all of these other things that he does.
Living down here near the water, and this is just somebody coming from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Not around boats a lot. Not saying anything because I know everybody in here has had a boat. It seems like the ego goes higher once you have a boat.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
And you're backing that up.
I actually think different. I think it takes your ego away because you're on the water. It's the one thing that you're in something that you can't see below, right? So in a plane, you can kind of see the area below you, even though you're in it.
But backing a boat into the water, it seems like they know instantly as soon as they get a boat.
Well,
and won't take any.
It'll humble Aaron. That water will humble you quick, won't it?
Yeah. You'll figure shit out real fast, man. You kind of got to that's the number one problem I see is this lack of education because there is no education needed to go buy a $500,000 boat.
Yeah.
You got a lot of wealthy people that have boats and they also think that they don't need to go hire a captain to train them and do all this stuff. But there's, like I said, there's no law saying it's one of the only pieces of machinery that you don't need to pass any sort of hands-on or written test. Every state's different.
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, for example, I'm in North Carolina. If you're over the age of, I think it's 26 or 7, you don't need to do anything. You can just go buy a boat.
Here you go.
Hey, my first boat I bought was a 63-foot Prestige, and my insurance let me captain it by myself. Now, I had a captain that I paid, and he would take me out Daniel, and he would take me out every Friday. We call it Free Lunch Friday. We'd do it a couple other times where we would go and we'd get lunch together. I'd dock up, I'd anchor out, we'd take trips, and I would make sure. And it took me about 3 months before he would let me go. And my main rule was I don't want to end up on Qualified Captain. That was what I said. I said, just train me to not end up on Qualified Captain.
Isn't that funny? In an industry, you've changed an industry.
Comment and send us that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, that was it. Because I would back into spots and I'm like, all right, take your time here. Don't end up, people are filming, because you get to some of these Miami marinas or you get down to Exumas, everyone wants to watch you pull into that tight space. Everyone wants to watch you get into that thing. And inevitably, your adrenaline spikes, everything's spiked, and you've got, 30 people on the dock off with their phones out, and you're going, all right, let's just inch it back in. Let's just inch it back in, baby. Let's just inch it back in.
Yeah. So, I mean, back to when I started, when I took this on full time, though, I wanted to educate people, right? So now I think it's naturally just happening where everybody on the water is realizing, like, even the younger kids are like, man, people are seeing everything I'm doing right now, and it makes them wake up a little bit before they go and just get hammered drunk and drive a boat or go drive dad's boat around. It's,
right.
It's actually against my rules. If I'm behind the helm, I don't drink.
I've never seen you do it. Never.
Yeah. It's
big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility. You've got other people on you. And that's where I've seen your page continue to like navigate towards some safety stuff. In fact, that's kind of how we connected is we had Gene on.
Yeah.
And well, he's like a captain in the Coast Guard down there in
he
Tampa.
Had a question for you. He's been in the Coast Guard 20 years, but he was like, I have a ton of videos to send this cat. What's the best way to send them to him? So
from the Coast Guard. I bet he's got some great ones.
Yeah, so we got some good content to send you.
He can send it to message or email. We got to. It's on our website. There's like a little spot where you can submit, but it's best to just send us a message. But we do a lot of work with the Coast Guard, man. I've been working with them now for 2.5 years now. It's been a lot of fun, man. We do a lot of station touring, podcasts with those guys. I'm a big supporter of the Coast Guard.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you some of Gene's links and stuff because he's down in that Tampa area and a great guy and Master Chief down there, right? I think
he's been all over.
And he's he had a great story about that. But I know on the show he pointed out about like, hey, we need it. Can we do a PSA? Is what he said on the bow riding. That was the big riding. Like, can we stop this bow riding?
What is this?
Well, it's not along a lot of states, somebody was asking me what is the most common thing you've seen on the water that mistake wise or preventable mistakes, and I bow riding this summer. I swear, man, it's every freaking day.
Everywhere, every lake.
I get a video of someone riding their kid on the bow of the boat, and I just don't get it.
It's crazy. No life preservers. Not to mention, you go over. We're here. If you know us, we're here at the Destin area, Miramar Beach area, and we've got a lot like all the places in Florida. We have a lot of boaters and boat rentals, and you have Crab Island and the pontoon boats and all that world. And inevitably, every summer, somebody rides on the bow of a pontoon, falls over, and their life is forever changed if they survive.
If they made it.
If they make it.
Yeah, there's about, I think, at least half a dozen kids killed this year just from bow riding.
Mm-hmm. That's insane. We got to fix that. That's got to be resolved.
And then the next biggest issue is, and one thing I always took for granted back when I worked on the water, but was engine cutoff switches.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's been so bad this year. I can remember at least a dozen people that have died from that.
And that's where you kind of get launched from the boat, I guess, is what you're saying, and then the boat continues to run. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah. So when you're out in the water in the busy holiday weekends and you're running wide open or turning and you hit somebody else's wake, you could lose control real fast and get launched off. And I've got so many videos I can't even share.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, they're probably bad.
Yeah.
Probably bad.
Oh
ones.
yeah. And I know there's some videos that you get out there, and it's kind of like Instagram will say, "Do you want to see? Do you want to see this?" Because it's graphic material. But you don't. I'm sure you don't want to put it out there, but you almost have to shock some people from time to time, right?
And that's kind of why I started doing that, man. I mean, when I get some of this stuff sent in, I just want to raise awareness. A lot of people don't even realize these things can happen on the water. I get a lot of people that message me and saying, "Hey, I'm learning so much from just following you. I don't even own a boat."
Yeah. Wow.
So,
That's great.
That's great. Hey, real quick, before we get too far in, I do want to welcome everybody to the Floorzz.com studio. That's FLOOR. Double Z, baby. Floorzz.com is your one-stop shop for all your flooring, wall covering, or remodel needs. So give them a call. Tell them the Jabroni sent you. They will take care of you. Let's get back on with it. So I've got 7 questions I want to ask you. We're going to put a clock on. It's a rapid succession. No gotcha. You just answer. If you need to pass, you pass. We're going to play What the Hell Do I Know with Aaron and Qualified Captain. I'd say your last name, but I will butcher it. I am notoriously bad.
And that's okay.
I'm notoriously bad at last names on this show, so I'm just not even going to try it today.
Y'all put me on the spot here, man.
Here we go. It's 7 questions. 7 questions. Clock's on. Here we go. Aaron, favorite boat you've ever captained?
I'm not going to be biased, Hansel Bay.
Okay. Worst boating fail you've personally witnessed?
Running aground really hard in an easy area, easy navigable area.
Gotcha. Okay. Docking or launching a boat, which is harder?
Docking.
Okay. Beer, sunscreen, or life jacket, what do most people forget first?
It's definitely not the beer. Honestly, it's the life jacket.
That's what I was going to say.
Most overrated boating gadget. This might get you in trouble. If you got past, I get it. But most overrated boating gadget.
Radar.
Okay. All right. Ramp champ or open water fail, which gets more views?
Boat ramp champ.
Yeah, by far, right? All right. If you had one hashtag to sum up boating culture, what would it be?
Please address me as captain.
That's so good. You crushed this, Aaron.
You know where that's from?
No, tell me.
You ever watch The Hangover? I think it's The Hangover 2.
Yes.
And Alan steals the boat, and they're trying to make it to the wedding. And then I think he's like, "Hey, Alan, do you know how to drive this thing?" And he's not answering. And he's like, "Please address me as captain." I started using that hashtag. People love it.
I love it. That's awesome, man. So you've seen hundreds and hundreds of boating fails. What's the most common mistake you notice captains making? We may have covered this, but what?
No, but it's good. It's good to talk about, man. It's such a hard question. I would say for the basic common recreational boater is just not educating yourself, and if you just take the time to learn, you'll prevent so many mistakes. There's a list of things that can happen. Bow riding is just, that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But I'm going back to basics, like how many life jackets you're supposed to have on board.
Sure.
Did you forget your plug? Is your bilge pump working? All that kind of stuff, So just preventable maintenance that you should already know.
I mean, it seems like, and I did this, again, because I had a captain that trained me, but he had a checklist for me. And so now I've sold that boat. In 2020, I sold that boat. My kids got older, and my wife and I realized this is now just sitting at the dock for two people. That's a lot of boat. And so we've now just got a center console. Love to have it and love to boogie around the boat once I get my power. He's working my power steer right now, by the way. But yeah, so it's one of those things. But a checklist, and that's something most people, I guess, don't do. Right? It's just a checklist, and it should totally have these major things like life jackets and then whistles. You don't even think about like something to get a hold of somebody if your horn doesn't work, or all of these backups to what you need on a boat.
Yeah. We actually are building a boating safety course right now.
Awesome.
We're just going through all the approval process for all the states. But actually, that is in our course. It'll come with a boating safety checklist. We already have it. It's actually on our website.
Very good.
Yeah, just common things like that, though. That's a great point, man. I mean, just know what you're supposed to have on board and know the weather, too. I've never, when I was working at the marina, I would the guys would come up and be like, "Are you sure you want to go out today? Like, 15, 20 miles. I can't tell you no, but I'm just going to give you my best advice." I would say no.
Yeah, right.
But you'd be surprised. I mean, these are lawyers and doctors that I'm putting their boats in the water, and they think they can go 20 miles fishing out with their little kid on the boat, and it's thunderstorms everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and sometimes that you can have the best charting in the world. You can look at the best apps for weather, and you can still get out there. And what was a 2, or 3 foot swells turn into like 6 and 7. Yeah. So you've got to be prepared. The one thing you've got to be prepared is to not go, to be able to turn around and come on back in.
Yeah. When I worked for CETO, that was advice that they gave us because we were on call. We'd be sometimes 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, get a call. And boss man used to say, "Hey, that's your call. If you don't feel comfortable for whatever reason, if it's flat, calm, whatever, I don't care. Just make that decision to turn around. It's okay."
Yeah, for sure. Well, some of your videos, like I said, some of them are funny and others show serious concerns. I mean, where do you draw the line between entertainment and education? I mean, what makes it on to your forum at this point?
Yeah, so I tried to mix it up a little bit, right? Because if I lose the engagement, I lose the interest.
Yep.
And I want to keep the interest because I want to educate at the same time. I'm trying to keep the younger generation engaged. So if we can kind of blend in it's funny and it's entertaining, but it's also a wake-up call, and it makes people really, really think twice about what they do before they buy a boat, and then also making dumb decisions on the water.
Yeah.
I've done it. We've all done it.
Sure.
It's just thinking beforehand, and also learning, like, how would you react in that situation too. There's a lot of times where some of the best captains I know have gone through traumatic accidents on the water, and they're the best, most, like, they spent their whole lives in the water, but when shit hits the fan, like, are you just going to freeze, or how are you going to react? Are you going to panic? And that's kind of, it's just good to tell these kind of stories and show it.
Yeah, I've been in some situations where you start going backwards. My wife's in the control center here, and she's probably nodding her head right now, because I used to always tell her, there's T-shirts I saw this, but so I didn't make it up, but I'd say, hey, I want to go ahead and apologize for everything I said while we were docking. Because you get it. I mean, I'll never forget, I was in Orange Beach one time, and I had my wife on the aft, or no, I think she's on the aft or the bow, vice versa. My son was on the swim platform. She was up on the bow, and we were coming out, and it's packed because we were running a hurricane. So we were moving the boat to run a hurricane. We were trying to leave. And as we were pulling out, there's boats everywhere. And I kept telling them by radio, they would tell me, 5 feet to clear. I'd get, hey, give me aft, and it'd be 5 feet, then 3 feet, 2 feet. Well, they were both saying the same thing. It was like 1 feet, 6 inches. When can I turn? They were like, maybe now. And I'm just like, okay, let's start moving this engine a little bit. And it gets hairy in some of these spots, but you just slow is, I feel like that's you only go as fast as you want to hit something, right?
That's true.
Yo, True North Pest Control. They are all over Central Florida, Georgia, and they just moved here to the Emerald Coast. I just switched my service over to them. You've got to check them out. Tell them JB sent you. They'll take care of you. We are a bug-free podcast because of them. True North Pest Control. Now back to the show.
A lot of people panic, and you're right. It's called whiskey throttle, and worst case scenario, just turn the motor off, and we can readjust the situation and fix it from there. But yeah, just go. This is another thing I always tell my the people at the marina where I worked at. I said, come down here if you can get off, or on a after work on like a Tuesday or Wednesday when nobody's down here. Just come here and practice. Some people won't take their boat out until like 4th of July.
Yeah. Let's go out on the busiest weekend, boys. Yeah. Let's try it now.
Where everybody's out.
I've seen, because it's a big thing. Boating culture is big. Again, here in the Destin area, we have Crab Island. I mean, it's crystal clear water.
Yeah.
I also have to give a shout out to the Galati's. I mean, Maria Galati Hill. She's been on our show. She's great. I know she speaks very highly of you, as well as the center console's only guy. She likes she knows. I mean, she knows all you guys in that social media world and in boating stick together. I'm sure she
they're all
crushes
good people, man. I actually was planning on having her on too. I just did one with Alan with center consoles only. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to him. He seems like a really good guy. I follow his stuff. I appreciate the education he does on center consoles. But here at Crab Island, everybody anchors out. I know there's spots all across our country where people come in, they anchor out at these sandbars essentially. And then they party, they have a good time. We have vendors that come by boat, vendors that are there on barges. I mean, it's a big time. But I've seen you educating people on the engines, and even when they're off, their blades. I mean, what are some of the things that we can do as boaters to make that a little safer environment when people are walking around these boats that are, tied up together like that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but we made a prop cover for that exact thing.
Yeah.
I was out at there's a little island off of our coast here called Masonboro Island, a couple miles right off our dock. And this guy had a throwable life jacket, and he had, they were just putting random stuff on their prop and their skeg. And I'm like, what's up with that? And he came up to me, he's like, man, we're putting this on there so when our kids and dogs are running around and swimming, that they don't whack their head on the prop. Or, not even just that, just coming on and off the boat, when you're going to get a drink or whatever it may be.
Right.
And so we made a kit. It's a cover. It's a very heavy duty 3-inch foam PVC material, but it's shaped like a diamond. So when you put it on, it's covering the prop and the skeg. The problem with the life jacket cover didn't really cover everything,
Gotcha.
So ours, I can hit it like a punching bag, and it's not. It's solid, man. And you just sold out of them this year.
You just turn your engine up, right, and slide it right on and strap it in, and you're done, right? It's safe.
Yep.
Now, that's good information.
Smart.
I have seen that. That's why I wanted to bring it up. I have seen you putting this out there, and I love, though, that your page, as fun as it is, And as much as I love it, and I love to see like your weekend updates and all the stuff, man, it's so good. I love that you're constantly trying to educate people and you're constantly trying to make boating safer.
Yeah. I see something new every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff that blows my mind. I'll never even think like it could ever possibly happen. So, and I think, it'll continue to go like that. I mean, the stuff that can happen on the water is wild.
Yeah,
you know?
You think like you're almost done, right? That nobody can ever come up with this, and then you see a boat. There was some guy the other day that ran aground, and then he came back to check on his boat on a golf cart.
Oh yeah.
And he got his golf cart stuck. Like he ran into ground somewhere, and then when he came back, he got his golf cart stuck too.
Yeah, I heard he was drunk and then still probably hammered in the morning and drove that thing straight to
Oh
the
my
ditch.
God.
That's bad when you've got to then get your golf cart towed and get your boat pulled out.
Yeah, I mean, I was always worried about that. I was like, man, am I just gonna get saturated and just the same repetitive stuff every weekend? But I don't think so, man. People still seem to be entertained.
Yeah. Do you ever get that person that something was sent to you, right? And you know, from the shoreline or whatever, and then the person that did it, in other words, the captain that was running it, did they ever reach out to you and like beg you to take it down or whatever, try to explain the situation? Like, how does that work?
To be completely honest with you, very rarely do I get that, and if I do, it's probably it is my fault. I mean, I didn't really and that's why I changed. I started really getting the details of the story. I'll even get these people on a phone call. Like,
oh wow!
Like, let's break down the story. But no, man, you'd be surprised. I always was worried about that too. I mean, if we're posting something, dude, it's a preventable mistake. You know, these people are usually 90% of them are drunk, and then the 10% are just uneducated, don't have a clue what they're doing.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, that's got to be that is interesting. I would think that she'd be like, please, can you please take this down? Can you not have my name?
I mean, trust me, I've had some people really begging for that.
No, that's awesome. So your boat ramp champs have become their own form of entertainment. Why do you think people love watching ramp champs so much? Because I've seen people line up, they'll clap, and I know you get those where they're clapping people in. I mean, what do you think it is about that ramp? Is it just it's the amount of people there watching it?
It's a lot of people that always ask that's probably the number one question I get. How does the truck end up in the water? And and it is kind of mind blowing. But I mean, to be honest with you, it happens. A lot of people have shitty brakes and they don't put the parking brake in and it goes, or a lot of times actually the ramp, the way they're designed, they'll actually eventually end in the water. So when if you back your trailer too far in, the wheels can go over the top of that, like that edge, and you get locked up.
Yeah.
And the tide comes in fast.
People do not watch tides. That is one thing I'm certain of.
The tide comes in fast.
The uneducated boater does not even know what a tide is.
Oh, no, it's bad.
But it's fast.
And it comes in when you least expect it. And you're going, ooh, I got to get out of here.
I think the boat ramp thing has just been everybody's curious, right? So I think that's why it's the most engaging. They want to know, like, oh, what did he do? Like, I don't even know how that happened. So we got to make sure it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, for sure. No, that ramp champ's always something interesting. I saw you also seem to like. Do you ever resolve disputes? Because there was something the other day. There was a big yacht that was coming up, and it looked like a small center console, and it nailed it in the back end of it. And the one I'm talking about is literally just the other day. And I saw the comments. So I like going through the comments because you have captains that will show up and they know, oh, no, this boat shouldn't have been there. And it was all the yacht's fault. And then somebody else say, well, it was the other boat. It was lost power or whatever. Do you get the stuff resolved, or does it just kind of fade out into the ethosphere?
You know what, though? It's yes and no. I mean, let the people talk it out, and then maybe somebody on there will have the correct answer. And it is I learn from people's comments all the time. Now, honestly, I don't listen to a majority of them, but it is good to hear different opinions.
That's right.
I like to read. Some people hate reading the comments, but I don't. I just let it. It's a discussion,
Yeah. We had one that was. Did it make it on your page? I know it made it on a bunch of pages where the guy was boating somewhere down. Was it in the Keys? It was like the guy he went off on some young kid near the
Oh yeah.
it was like near a bridge, and he went off on some young kid,
He
and
had
he
the
got
wrong
on his
kid.
boat. He got on his boat,
I think everybody
and
saw
he's
that.
yelling at
But it
him,
was
and he
it
went
was the wrong-
viral. This
it was
one
the wrong
viral.
kid too. It
Yeah,
wasn't
the
even
guy
right
lost
kid.
his.
Yeah, it was like Tampa or something.
Do you get a lot of that too? The fights on the water and stuff like
Yeah.
that too, right?
I try to stay away from the fights.
Yeah.
I get the boat ramp fights. Here's another perfect example. I get videos that I promise you guys I cannot show to anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of these are like fights that are just ridiculous. You know, they don't even need to be seen. But
Yeah,
I get a lot of that.
Tempers can be heated, but we were talking the other day, Juice and I, the three of us just the other day, and how, man, I'm in my late 40s now. I'm 48 years old. I have zero desire to be in a fight ever. Like,
It's
let's just
over.
talk.
Like, that
let's just
whole
talk
part of
it
my
out.
life.
Let's just talk it out.
Like,
yeah.
anywhere I got
There's
too
an
much at
ego
stake
thing.
now.
The ego thing, right?
Yeah.
Ego's not your amigo.
That's what I'm
boys
saying.
and
A little
girls.
bit. Your ego
is
goes up
not
there with a
your
boat,
amigo.
and I'm telling you, you don't want to do the wrong thing.
All right, so what's one piece of advice you'd give new boat owners to avoid ending up on your page? I know we've covered it, but let's try it again. One new piece of advice you'd give new boat owners to avoid ending up on your page.
Just take the time to educate yourself. First, start with the books and go above and beyond the state required course. I mean, I cannot wait to launch our course. It's going to be state approved. You'll get your certificate, but you're also going to learn way more than they're going to teach you on that course. We're going above and beyond. That's my first advice.
That's all states
It doesn't
you
have to
go
be
to?
ours, but just educate yourself.
You in all states?
But we're going to be, man, I'm going through hell with this, but we're going to be in a dozen to start.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah.
being one of them?
Florida will be one of them.
Yeah, because I mean, it's huge boating culture here, so
Yeah.
that would make sense to be there. And you're in North Carolina. What's something you love in North Carolina boating? Because you've probably boated now all over the place. What do you love about boating in North Carolina?
You want to know? It's kind of quiet. It's busy in the summer, but right
Yeah.
now this is the best time of the year because everybody kind of goes back to Raleigh or Charlotte, and the fishing gets better now, and the water still stays warm till like October, November.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I could still go out and hang out on the island, and we just went fishing this past weekend, and we crushed it, and
That's
nobody
awesome.
was out.
That's awesome.
That's great.
What are you hitting when you're out? When you're out this weekend, what'd you hit? What'd you catch?
We got on the wahoo. We got
Oh,
on
yeah.
3 nice solid wahoo.
Heck,
That's
yeah.
awesome, man. What's your favorite fish to catch? Like if you're going out and you anywhere, anytime, just this is what I like to catch.
On rod and reel,
Yeah.
either because I do a lot of spearfishing. That's why
Okay.
I asked. Rod and reel, probably wahoo or blue marlin.
Okay. Now that you said spear, let's talk about that spear. What do you like to get on the spear?
Damn, I want to say wahoo, but it's so hard to shoot those. So
Yeah.
probably African pompano or a big grouper, like a big grouper.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think's the craziest, the biggest fish you've probably caught? What would you say it is?
I shot a 65-pound halibut in Alaska, and that was nuts.
And
Yeah.
you got it in?
And I was spearfishing in a 7mm wetsuit, wearing like 24 pounds of weight to keep my buoyancy there. And we dove our asses off. And on the last day, this big halibut came by and took me for a ride.
Oh my word! When did it
fun.
finally give up the ghost?
I was crazy. The captain on the boat was like, "Man, I saw your head. It was just pushing up a weight because I'm holding on."
Oh, wow. You're not letting it go.
Pulling it in.
You're not letting it go. You get a lot of stuff. I know now with your podcast, you get a lot of crazy stories on the water.
Yeah.
What is one of the craziest ones you've heard? Because I love boating stories and fishing stories. Some of them, I think these guys make the fishing stories bigger than they are.
And they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'm sure you've heard pirating stories. You've heard crazy stuff. Like, what are some of the? What's like one of the craziest ones you've heard, especially now that you've got your own podcast?
All right. Well, craziest one by far is Pirate Rob. You want to talk about pirates? Shout out to Pirate Rob. I think it's episode 3. If you guys can go find it. But
Yeah.
I did one with Pirate Rob. They took a center console from Sarasota all the way to Panama. And long story short, I mean, this is just a fraction of what happened. But right when they got to Honduras, that's like the sketchiest part of that ride. And they got what was it? They started getting shot at out of nowhere. They're like, "What the hell's going on?" And they're like, "Pirates!" And long story short, it ended up not being pirates. It's actually the Honduras Navy who thought they were pirates. And
wow!
It just at the end of the whole experience there, they had the whole Navy holding their arms like this with big, AKs sitting next to them. And yeah, man, that's just a little piece of that story that you need to listen to that episode
because 3.
They had to get gas and,
I'm gonna throw it up.
Avoid smugglers.
Post editing, I'll throw a screenshot of that up so our audience can jump to your episode 3 and hear that story out, because that seems, and I love, and by the way, I don't know this guy, so shout out. You say Captain Rob.
Pirate Rob,
because he sounds like one of those salty captains that probably tells a great story. Yeah. So I really want to listen to this story.
Dude, I kept my mouth shut and let him go, and we sat at the dock and probably each had a dozen beers. It was 3 hours long.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Well, how do you see the qualified captain shaping boating community? I mean, you're changing behavior, or are you changing behavior, or are you just holding up a mirror? I mean, do you see it starting to change things? I mean, how do you feel like? Is it making a difference?
So I think it is. And I mean, it's not just me, trust me. There's a whole, I go to a lot of these boating safety summits and talk to a lot of cool people that we're involved with that help make a safer boating community. And we just got a number that last year of 2024 was the lowest death tolls on the water since, I think it was 2002. No, I forget what it was. I'll get those numbers. I'll send it to you. But anyways, It was a really low number. And I seriously think it's because people are being careful what they do in the water. People are watching everything you do. Yeah.
Well, I hope so. I mean, because it is one of those things. Again, we live where we live. If it's not a boating accident, that Crab Island, those tides will come in and it'll pull really you. And we have people that will just drown from, trying to swim in water that gets
3 feet deep.
3 feet deep, and it'll just pull them out. And I mean, once you get it out in that ocean, man, you're hard to find. You're hard to find.
A lot of time it's the rescuer that gets out there, gets somebody back. But then they get that lactic acid build up in their muscles and they just get tight and you can't stay up.
We have a lot of that. Just it's not just in our area. It's not just boating. We try to tell people about the flag system, like just understanding what double reds mean.
2 reds are bad. Yeah. Don't go in the water.
There's some crazy stat. It's like somebody drowns every 5 minutes in the world or something crazy like that.
Oh yeah, I bet. Do you have? I mean, you're primarily in the U.S., but are you getting things sent to you now in other places? So you're getting other stuff coming in, right?
Okay.
Are you
right now? Yeah. Australia's going into their summer, so we're getting everything coming in over there. We just got our first account in Australia too, so I'm super stoked for that.
Oh, so you have a qualified captain Australia?
Yeah. We have not an Instagram account, but there's this store out there called Anaconda. They've got about 30 locations they're carrying our gear now.
Oh, good. That's good for you. Will they have just hats, shirts, things of that nature? And also, what about this the prop cover? Are you they gonna carry that too, or?
I'm working on it, man. It's a tight niche right now, but I think yes, I would. That prop cover should be available soon in West Marine.
That's awesome. Oh, wow. That's
West
big.
Marine.
West Marine, that's big.
Yeah, we got one here. So
yeah, we got West Marine. Although every time I go to West Marine, I feel like they don't have the one thing I'm going for. I always feel like I'd be better off ordering it to the house,
Yeah. Where's the prop cover? Oh, we don't get those in yet.
Yeah, we ain't got those in yet. I just ordered it from Aaron's site.
It's coming, man. I'm working it out right now. For next year, around May, we should have everything, man. This course should be done. Those should be available. We got some big plans, man. I've got a lot of projects that we got to launch with the Coast Guard. It's been awesome. Fun, man. That's my goal moving forward, is kind of let the apparel side do its thing and the Instagram, but I'm really trying to get more content creative and build more YouTube videos and more touring different marinas and different jobs on the water.
Oh, very cool. No, that's very interesting. So that's kind of the next step for you. Where do you find the time, brother? I mean, you've got a family, right? I mean,
I don't. It's just me and my girlfriend and my mom.
Well, that right now that's
sister and one other girl who works for us.
And that's it. So it's like 5 of you.
Yep. And then I got sales reps all over the country, but they're contractors.
Right. Right. And you guys handle all of this. I mean, where do you find the time, brother?
Dude, it's a grind, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It
People
sounds
don't
like
know
it's a
in
grind.
the podcast world how much how much activity goes into creating just one podcast somebody listens to.
Well, and then
So
content to put out
energy.
there to promote the
There's
podcast
a
and everything
lot.
else, and we're not even handling the content that's
Like he's
coming.
doing, yeah,
I mean, I bet some days you feel like you're sucking it in from a fire hydrant. There's a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of social media content creators in the world. In fact, Instagram's now said it's like that's. The algorithm was so easy to beat, 15 years ago or whatever, because there's only so many people doing it. Now, kids in America, they say they want to be content creators. You go to kids in other countries and they still want to be doctors and lawyers. But we've got a lot of content creators. So for all those content creators out there, how do you take a vacation and still keep your content going? Do you have to be extremely organized? Do you take it as you go? Do you schedule things? I mean, what is it that you do?
I just take it as I go, man. I mean, usually there's something crazy that happens somewhere in this country on the water in the weekend, and it usually is sent to me. So we'll keep people up to date with what's going on. But this time of year, as we slow down, I'm going through organizing. But I don't know. Am I a creator though, or am I just sharing other content? I don't know.
I think to me, I feel like you are to a degree. I mean, I agree with you. You're not. It is a funky world that you're in, but I would lay it out there because you're taking content and, like you said, you're mining it. You're making sure that you're curating it. You're making sure it's legit. You've got a lot of back end that you're doing.
Well, and the boating community. You've been around it for so long.
Yeah.
You take somebody that doesn't know anything about it. They don't know what content to put out there and what's funny and what's not funny and gotcha and all that. So you've lived the life. And now it's kind of neat. You've transitioned your love of boating and being around the water into something totally different, but it's still around your passion.
Yeah.
So who knows where this is going to go? Which
Yeah,
is
you're
really cool.
100% right, man. And I miss being on the water, but it's that is the one goal though moving forward is to be, I guess, more of a content creator now because I've just got all these connections with different people that are making new products that make your life easier and safer on the water. Man, I'm sitting on files and files and files of content right now that we're so stoked to launch.
Yeah. How many terabytes?
Stuff coming.
How many terabytes of content do you think you have?
I'd have to ask. That was the best thing I did this year. I brought on a videographer, and I'd have to ask him. But his name's Drew, and he's crushing it. Shout out to Drew.
That's awesome.
That best thing I ever did.
Yeah. No, that sounds pretty good. You've got, I see a lot of these inlets though that these boats they kind of get sunk, and I know you probably see the wavy boats guy. You probably know them, but what is probably the most dangerous area to come into when you're coming back in, like pass wise? What have you seen historically be that bad area?
Are you talking about a specific location?
Yeah, maybe a specific location.
Hatteras Inlet is probably the most dangerous inlet in the East Coast. And that's right up the road from us.
Oh wow.
And then there's another one called Depot in Oregon that I went and saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, get a chance, check that one out. That one is like, I mean, a tight little narrow channel that the big 47 motor lifeboat Coast Guard boats send it right through. They wait for their opportunity and go. It's as wide as the boat.
Really? But you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah. No, it's that's another video we're doing, man. How to run an inlet. We're building a video of like how to actually run through these inlets properly without burying your bow into the water.
That is such a that would be a great video. And are you working with the Coast Guard doing that?
Actually, yes.
That's awesome.
The guy in the Coast Guard Auxiliary has been a partner with me in the boating safety course, and I think the partnership works out well because I have the engagement and they have the knowledge. Well, I mean, I've got the knowledge too, but I don't have the time to do all that. But they love doing it. That's what they do, So
no, it's great. But Gene, when he was here with us, he would say that they would sit at their station and they'd tell guys, "Don't go out." And he's like, "We'll see. We'll come get you in 3 hours."
Yeah, when the storm goes away,
we'll be out, I guess.
Yeah.
So they get hit all the time, man. Well, this has been such an interesting conversation. You guys got any? Did Gene have
to say? I had the great idea. He's wanting more content. You got to see if you can get these people that are in these videos and interview them somehow. The ones that are screwing up.
Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah,
those would be great interviews.
It's funny you say that. We actually have a couple episodes of that situation.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, there's 3 I've already done. I got another one coming up. Man, I could talk all day about that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like some of these stories that we're bringing on don't have happy endings, you know, and
Right.
Yeah.
it's good to have that guy actually feel comfortable to come on and tell the story in hopes that it doesn't happen to somebody else. And
Yeah.
that's been some of our most engaging podcast episodes, and the feedback's been great. So I know it's tough for them to tell the story, but it's helping out tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's
no,
great. You have to check
look,
those out.
I kind of feel it's helping. Like I said, I started following your page. I was like, I don't want to end up on here, so I need to get some education. I need to figure it out.
That's kind of where everybody's at with it.
Most of my fails were after the boat was docked when I'd fall off the dock. You know,
At least the boat's fine, right?
the
At
boat
least
was
the boat
fine.
is fine.
My ego was bruised.
But everybody makes honest mistakes, man,
Sure,
and that's
sure.
where it's super important to know the difference between an honest mistake or a preventable error. And it's a lot's on me too to make sure that I'm posting the correct content. But it's I don't know. I'm getting the feedback. We've been still a popular brand, man. People like us, so we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, no.
Keep doing it, man.
Well, and I love that you've got this integrity about yourself, again, that you want to put out content that helps, not necessarily hurting anyone. You want to understand the situation before you put it out. And because of that, you've become a brand that people trust.
Yeah.
And that's really ultimately what everybody, if you're listening to this podcast today and you're trying to build your own brand, build a brand that people can trust.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
And I made that decision as soon as I became serious with this. When a buddy of mine told me, he's like, you need to leave your job now and just we'll roll with this. And he was one of my sales representatives.
Yeah.
And the best thing I ever did, man, it was just like, let's make sure that we can take this in a positive note and educate people off of this somehow. We don't need to keep tearing people apart,
Sure.
you know, but we
Right.
really want to flip the note and say, hey, this is what not to do on the water. So
Yeah.
Man, this has been, honestly,
Good job.
I've loved this conversation. I've loved every minute of it. Again, I want to give you guys
No,
a chance.
Yeah, the website's qualitycaptain.com, or what's the website?
it's just the qualifiedcaptain.com.
Okay,
Our
qualified.
podcast is the Qualified Captain Podcast. And the main, going back to, remember I was telling you, we
Yeah.
were trying to build more content ourselves. We just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, so check that out.
Yes.
Will do.
Great job, man. Absolutely. Check out all. By the way, post edit, I'm going to throw up all your stuff so people can
appreciate
see
that.
it. But yeah, if you're listening audio wise, YouTube's where it's headed. I mean, even podcasts are moving to YouTube, and I'm getting more and more. Even if all they're listening is audio, they're going through YouTube versus
Man.
Apple Podcasts or Spotify even.
That's the direction I'm headed.
Yeah, that's where it seems like it's headed.
Me too.
All of our projects, we're doing tours of different Coast Guard stations. We're doing tours of different marinas and resorts. We've got I'm working on a project right now where it's called we haven't got an official name yet, but you ever watch 30 Jobs with Micro?
Oh, yeah. Great show.
Yeah.
We're going to do something similar, but with just captain jobs. And tour the
Oh
whole-
man, we got
Okay.
some. Hey, we got some
awesome.
captains for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Brad,
Send them my way.
Yeah,
When
Brad,
you're coming
Brad
down to
was,
Destin, you need to take a field trip down to Destin.
anytime you're in this, anytime you're in this
Anytime.
area, you got friends here, and you got a place
you
to
got
stay.
a place to stay.
So you got
I
friends
appreciate
here.
it. I definitely need to, man. I go down to Florida a lot, especially on the East Coast, and I need to go down there and not work though.
Yeah,
That's what I
they-
mean. You need to come Northwest Florida
Emerald Coast.
and Emerald Coast. We like those amberjack, snapper, grouper.
Cobia.
It's called the
Luckiest fishing
luckiest
village, yeah.
little fishing village, Destin, Florida.
Listen, I lived in Pensacola for a little
Okay,
while. when
so
I was
you
young.
know.
You know for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been asking almost everybody this season. I've missed a few people, but I've asking almost everybody this last question. I want to ask it to you. So here we go. Last question. What would you tell your 25-year-old self, knowing everything you know now? If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 25-year-old self?
Oh man, don't settle for what you're doing. Don't settle for what you are or where you are right now. That's just my advice. If for
I love
anybody
it.
listening that's stuck in that worrisome spot, because at 25, I was like, damn, I'm going to lose my insurance here at 26, panicking, like trying to buy a house, like, but I'm working this boring job. Don't settle with that. If you have something in mind, go for it.
Love
That's
it.
great
Love
advice,
it.
by the way. Great advice. Young people are on my heart. This next generation are on my heart. I feel like I'm bringing on guests that have, really, you've crushed it in this world. A lot of the young people out there would love to have an Instagram page with 1.6
yeah.
million followers, but you tell them it's a lot of headache too.
Yeah.
Well, listen, though, And I appreciate you saying all that, but here's another piece of advice. Don't get complacent though either. There's for me in the back of my mind, there's still a lot of work to do. And that's the same thing on the water. Complacency can kill you. Just keep going, keep going.
Absolutely,
really
absolutely. Well, listen, man, this is a section I like to say, listen up, kids. So listen up, kids. Listen up,
I
kids.
love that.
Absolutely. Listen up, kids. Big thanks to the qualified captain, Aaron, for joining us and sharing the stories behind the boating world's wildest moments. But remember, learn from the fails so you don't become the next viral clip. If you've enjoyed today's episode, hit that subscribe button, share it with your crew, and keep steering straight. Or don't. I mean, what the hell do I know?
I love
it.
What the hell do I know? I'm just JB, middle-aged dad with ADD. Candid combos, jokes so lame, jabronis pulling a poker face. Just a couple of dudes with ADD. What the hell do I know? With JB.